Okay, for the next one, we'd like to call up John Hafley and Brian Cain. They are running for County Court at Law Number 1, and which is a designated criminal misdemeanor court. The current judge is Dennis Watson, who is not seeking re-election. So again, the candidates in this race are Brian Cain and John Hafley. Yes.
All right, is this on? Okay, perfect. John, if you will start off with your opening statement, and then we'll go to Brian.
All right, well, thank you very much. My name is John Hafley, and I'm running for judge of County Court at Law Number 1. I'm a former prosecutor, former police officer, and I've served in the Army Reserve now for 30 plus years. Why is that important? This is a criminal court. So I have seen the criminal justice system from every single angle. I've arrested people, I've prosecuted people, and currently I own my own law firm and I defend people. So I think that type of experience is what we need in a county court at law misdemeanor court. And by the way, as I said earlier, I've served 30 plus years in the United States Army Reserve. And in 2020, under President Donald Trump, I was nominated for Brigadier General and the Senate confirmed me. So I was promoted to Brigadier General. So why is that important? This position is a leadership position. You are going to lead people during the darkest days of their life while they're working through the court system. And I've led people during the darkest days of their lives, both in combat and as a brigade commander. So those things, I think leadership matters and experience matters, and that's why I'm running for judge of County Court at Law Number 1. A little bit about me, of course, I have an amazing wife. She's here tonight. I'm a Christian first, I'm a conservative second, and I'm a Republican third. And my wife is a Christian first, Republican second. Sorry. She is a Christian first, conservative second, Republican third. Sorry, honey. So I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. I'm asking for your vote, and I just want you to remember that experience in the criminal justice system from all angles matters, and leadership matters. Thank you.
Good evening. Let's just do this. Didn't work out. Good evening. My name is Brian Cain, and I am also running for Judge, County Court at Law Number 1. As has been said, it's a criminal misdemeanor court. There are 3 of those in this county. I'm an attorney and a partner at Griffin & Cain, a general litigation firm located in Conroe, Texas. And I handle criminal defense and family matters as well as some other matters at that firm. I'm a 4th-generation Texan, native to the area, and husband and a father. I've been married to my wife of 17 years, Katie, and I've got 2 children, Abigail, who is 9, and Eleanor, who's 5. Now, I didn't go straight to law school. As I was finishing undergrad, I was mentoring for about 18 months, deciding whether I was going to become an Episcopal priest. After that, I got a master's in history, specializing in movement conservatism, because I thought I would become, at that point, a historian and a professor. So then I did go to law school, and within 6 months of becoming licensed, after working for a while with a retired prosecutor in Conroe, he made me a partner at the firm that I'm still at. So I'm running for this position because I believe judicial temperament is the #1 thing that you need to look for in a candidate. And that's the story I'm trying to tell you. I didn't go to law school on a whim. I came to that decision after a lot of soul searching, after going down different paths. It's that mentality of discernment that I bring to my law practice every day and that I will bring to the bench. It's that mentality of discernment that I have brought just to making this decision. I enjoy the practice of law. I enjoy the camaraderie at my law firm, which I'm going to have to leave. But I want to serve this community, and I know that I will do that well because of the temperament that I have, which again shows in my story. Again, my name is Brian Cain. I'm running for Judge, County Court Law Number 1. Check me out on briancain.org.
All right, thank you. Brian, you will start off the questions then, and then we'll just go back and forth there. So again, 90 seconds to respond. So first question, with a growing county comes a growing number of cases. What are your plans to help manage the growth in cases that you will likely experience if elected?
So the best laid plans of mice and men. I don't have a plan. What I do have is a mentality. So I've been in many courts in many counties, seen some very poorly run courts. A lot of them are just a little bit south of here. The number one thing you need to do to keep a court moving is to not grant continuances. To say, no, we're going to have a trial. It's to that keeps everything on track and utilizes the resources you have. If Monday comes and you don't have a trial going, you're wasting resources. That happens when you grant everybody the day off by giving them a continuance. That's what I've seen happen in many courts in Harris County, and it's what I've seen in a few courts in other counties, and I don't want to name them. They're good counties otherwise. But Montgomery County has a good track record of telling us attorneys, no, we're going to see you Monday. And that's what I'm going to bring. It's not necessarily a plan, it's a mentality. And that's how you keep up with growth in this county. That what the person who wins this race, what I hope to inherit in County Court 1 is a well-run docket. And I don't see any reason to make any substantial changes. Again, I think it's a mentality you bring to the position that keeps a court's docket moving. And that's how you ramp up to face the growth that is definitely coming our way.
Same question? All right. So this county is growing, and we're not going to stop that. It's growing at a rapid rate. So I have had experience of practicing in 40 different courts, 40 different courts. Some are ran really well, and some are ran really poorly. When I take over this court, I am going to, for the first 90 days, I'm just going to make the observation of how the court runs. You don't know what you don't know, so you don't go in there and make willy-nilly changes. But after that, you have to really evaluate what's the disposition rate of this court. How quickly are we moving cases? I am going to have a lot of trials. I don't know how many of you were at our first forum, but that's where I announced it. We are going to race to the top for the most trials. And why is that? Trials move cases. For those of you who aren't in the criminal justice system, trials move cases. Both sides have to make a decision whether it's worth going to trial over. And usually the cases will settle out. So we're going to have lots of trials in County Court at Law number 1 when I take the bench. Number 2, we are going to work every day of every week. We are going to have what I'm going to call an open plea Friday. That's going to be open to any county court at law, and we're going to hear cases and make pleas. Why is that important? Because Fridays are usually a slow day, and we're going to increase that. So we're going to have more numbers in the court. More people are going to move cases. We're going to be accessible. We're not going to leave at 5. My time is up. So John Hafley, thanks.
All right, so I guess, John, we'll start with you and then go back to Brian for the next question. So if elected, what would be your first action or, say, procedure that you would implement?
Yeah, it kind of ties into the last question. The first thing we'd implement is we would start having trials, and we'd start having dockets every week. That increases the caseload, that gets more people into the courthouse, and that causes your disposition rates to go up. So that's the first thing that we'd do. Then after that, we are going to maybe have 2 trials a week. We have to look at it. So we'll call everybody in on Monday. Slight education on how it works. You get jury duty, you get summons to a Monday. There's a number of you. We select 6 for a trial in a county court at law, misdemeanor case. So we will probably, after I observe for 90 days, we will probably have 2 trials in that week. We'll bring them all in, we'll pick the first set, and then that same Monday we'll pick the second set. That way the clerk doesn't have to call 2 juries in, they can just call 1, and then we'll pick 2 panels from that, have a trial on Monday, have a trial on Wednesday. So that's the next change that I would make. So I think all of these will increase the efficiencies of the court. And then we will move cases and we will lead. I'll lead the court from the bench, and again, holding feet to the fire. There won't be continuances granted either. And the state will have to make their appearance, and the defense will have to make their appearance. And we'll set that on a scheduling order. So that would be the other change that I make. Immediately after the first appearance, everyone would know what appearance dates they have to show up to court, and that way everyone knows what has to happen. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Same question for you, Brian.
All right. I have one, I said I didn't have a plan, I do have one thing that I really like and would make a change, and that is, it's technical, it's a kind of lawyer thing. There's a docket right before trial, it's called a call docket. I would move that to as close as possible to Monday. So usually it's going to be Thursday, considering Friday is when we have our jail dockets. Again, I don't want to get too deep into the technical stuff here, but I do want to move that closer, because when you have your call docket, the last docket before trial, it's easier to say no. It's also easier to get defendants to get off the bench. If they're going to go ahead and plead, let's get it done. So you move that call docket to Thursday before trial. It actually moves cases. I've seen that in courts, many courts, where you have your call docket closed. It gets things going faster. Courts in Montgomery County have had 2 trials in a week before. This is not a new thing. It's certainly something that, if that's what's necessary, then we'll do. We're not going to do anything that's unnecessary just to meet some arbitrary goals. I did talk with in an interview with someone about having 2, and they said, "What about a 3? Let's start on Friday and go Saturday." I think that Saturday is going to get a lot of pushback from people in this room. Going to be called in for jury duty on a Friday to have a Saturday trial. So 2 is probably the most you're going to be able to get. But those are the kinds of things that we would look at to try to make sure that this court uses all its resources as the county continues to grow.
All right, thank you. And Brian, you can start us off for the next one. So what do you see as the most important issues facing this court, and how do you plan to address these?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it already, the growth that's coming our way. Right now, there's a little under, as of the last reported case counts in this court, a little under 2,000 cases. There are higher numbers of cases in the other 2 criminal misdemeanor courts here in this county. And that shows that at any point, this can fluctuate. And with the growth coming our way, I think we had 125, 150,000 in the last 10 years. If that continues, we don't want to just have to get another court to be able to meet all that demand. So it really, this is the issue, is making sure that the court runs smoothly, quickly, gets to trials, moves cases, and like I said, get people to make those decisions so that trials aren't necessary. As I said, there's 2,000 cases pending. You can't have that many trials. Even if you've got 3 a week, you can't get to near that number of trials in a week. So obviously you've got to get people to make that decision to plead, or if the state of Texas is going to do something other than ask for a conviction, work out some kind of deal. We got to get people in position to make those decisions. That's the issue right now, is the growth coming our way. And that's how you have to meet that, is having trials and getting dispositions done in the various ways that can make that happen.
All right, so the most important thing, Brian, we've said it already, it's the growth of this county and how are we going to handle it. I think number one, how we're going to handle it, we're going to elect a judge who has leadership qualities, who has led people through multiple things, through multiple times in their life. So that's number one. I think you want to vote for the person who has a proven leadership record, and that's how we're going to handle the entire court system. How do you specifically handle growth are the things that we already talked about. You have lots of dockets, you meet every week, you have trials, and you move cases. So those are the things that we talked about in every other question. So that is the number one issue that's facing us, is the growth of this county and how are we going to efficiently run this court. So again, I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Leadership matters, experience matters. And those are the things that I'm running on. And that's how we solve the issues of growth, clogged systems, things not going efficiently. That's how you solve those riddles. You handle people who have handled those problems in the past. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. We'll move on to our next race.